Hello, all our RegenUs Center friends. I'm John Allen Mollenhauer. My friends call me John Allen, or by my initials JAM, if we don't already know each other well. I'm the founder of RegenUs Center, and this morning I just wanted to share a few thoughts that are going to be a building series of videos over the coming couple of weeks. And giving you a little bit of background about why we started this center and what we can really offer you by coming here. You know, a lot of people come here because they want to get free of stress, pain, and fatigue. Maybe you're experiencing constant tiredness from the pace of life, whatever's going on in your life that may be causing you to overexert or maybe feel overwhelmed, lowering your body battery power, so to speak, and giving rise to a series of symptoms that you might be experiencing, whether it might be poor eating habits or poor health in some way, leading to poor health in some way, shape, or form, lack of physical activity, all in a sense caused by the fact that you're experiencing stress, pain, and fatigue. And those are the number one reasons why people come to RegenUs Center, because they just don't feel the vitality and the spark that they used to have, and they want to get it back. And or they're experiencing symptoms in the form of fatigue or aches and pains throughout their body, maybe in their lower back or their shoulder or neck, their knee, their ankle, right? In other words, it shows up, pain, stress pain can show up at any place in the body. And or conditions like the overweight condition, or just mental brain fog, or physical manifestations of dis-ease in the form of a variety of different lifestyle-induced diseases. In some cases, just diseases that, and by the way, let me say it this way. A lifestyle-induced disease is a disease that was caused essentially by how we were living. Now, don't take that as a slap, like you live terribly, you should be doing better right now. No, we all have experienced lifestyle induced diseases. Very few of us are catching diseases these days, which is the path I was going down. Most of us are earning the diseases that we experience today because of how we're living our lives. I wouldn't have even started this business if that wasn't true. I got into this business because I had unyielding back pain that seemed never ending. It was once every 5 years, then every 4 years, 3 years, 2 years, 1 year, then every month, then every week, then every day. And it got to a point where I literally was sliding out of bed. I had to have friends drive me to the doctor because I couldn't even get in the car. And it wasn't until I really learned how to regenerate my life force, literally the energy that's animating my body, that I started to learn how to help my cells produce more energy, therefore enabling the healing process to take place, that I actually changed the course of my life. I had been studying, and most of you probably don't know this, but I had been studying regeneration for a significant period of time as a key idea for a bigger lifestyle philosophy that I've been developing over the last 20 to 30 years, actually, with a huge emphasis in the last 15 years, called performance lifestyle. It's an idea that gets more relevant, more meaningful, and more actionable the older you get. Because the older we get, we have the consequences of our past, we have the stresses in the present, and in some cases, we have the anxiety about the future. We have tremendous amount of demands on our time and energy. We're probably still in the workforce. Many of us have kids. Some of us have young kids. I know I have a 3-year-old and a 14-year-old with my wife, Mariana, who's also the co-founder of RegenUs Center. And the impact of it all, of working hard, preparing for our future, overcoming some of the challenges from our past, it makes it a very challenging way of life. And a lot of us are constantly tired. We get overwhelmed. We are overstimulated. And as a result, we're under recuperated. And when you're living life in an under-recuperated state, which is how I was living for years and years and years, despite being really adept at nutrition and fitness. I mean, I started my career in the gym business. I worked with Dr. Furman. He's one of the top nutritional excellence experts in the world, one of the pioneers in high nutrient density eating. I publish a website with him called nutrientrich.com. So nutrition is a big part of how my career got started. And so I was already eating excellently and physically active. But I was wondering, maybe in the same way that you are today, like, why am I so tired all the time? How come I don't have the vitality and the zest and zeal that I used to feel? How come I don't have that anymore? And why are these aches and pains showing up at higher and higher levels? Well, it's because we're not managing our energy really well. Actually, most of us do not know what energy is, and we certainly don't know how to manage it. We do to some degree because the human condition forces us to, but we're not adept at it, and it's not something that we do proactively. We wake up in the morning, in an all-out assault on the day, and get to bed late at night, and in between, a lot of us, are just sort of coping with, amounts of stress. Some of us do it better than others, and it leads to a whole series of habits that can cause us to be sometimes overfed with undernourishing food. We can sometimes overnourishing food, right? You can overeat healthy food too. We can be super busy but physically inactive. And this excess stress can cause fatigue, tiredness, exhaustion, fatigue, weight, mental and physical health complications that a lot of us will spend a measurable portion of our lives trying to solve. Chasing shiny objects, chasing that one thing that's going to solve that problem. And for so many of us, we never find it. We get a little bit better. We get a little bit better on the path, but we never really find it because the answer, as I've learned over the last 30 years, is not one thing. It's a series of things all strung together like links in a chain that give you that forward moving momentum to resolve what are called hidden lifestyle challenges. These are the ways of living that we engage in predominantly in our lives that cause problems, right? In other words, they're sort of flaws in our lifestyle. For example, eating a nutrient-poor diet, right? And when we talk about nutrient poor, we're talking about eating predominantly foods that are very low in micronutrients. I'm not talking about carbohydrates, fat, and protein. We all get plenty of that. Those are calories. I'm talking about micronutrients, which we eat very, very small amounts of that come only from plants. Because a lot of us are not eating plant-based diets. We're eating animal product-based diets with some vegetables thrown in. And while this video is not entirely on the subject of nutrition, that's a major mistake. Even though some of us think it will help us build muscle through protein or lose weight through less carbohydrate. It's a major flawed mistake in living, and it gives rise to a lot of later stage life diseases. It's a big national experiment that so many of us have gotten caught up in the form of ketogenic diets and low carb diets. That appears like it's completely rational at times, when in fact it's a causation of disease. Now, a nutrient-poor diet gives rise to a whole series of problems that a lot of us just mistake for aging, when they're really not. They're really caused by lifestyle factors, in this particular case, diet. And so that's what's called a hidden lifestyle challenge. Now, when you switch that to a whole food, nutrient-rich diet, you are resolving what's called a hidden lifestyle challenge, and you're starting to evolve now with a new upgrade to your lifestyle. And when you make an upgrade like that, things start to get better. But to think that nutrition alone, any more than fitness alone, like working out or training or even movement alone, is going to solve all the problems that we experience, notably tiredness, exhaustion, and fatigue, is foolhardy. Now, I want to be perfectly clear here. These are two major aspects of your lifestyle. The fact that we need to move and fuel and nourish our bodies. But I think you would agree, even with your whatever awareness and development level you're at around the whole idea of lifestyle, I think you'd probably agree, especially if you're a client of RegenUs Center, you have to be pretty woke, so to speak, to come into RegenUs Center. I think you would agree that those are only two aspects of your lifestyle, and that there are other aspects of your lifestyle that are not only essential to eating well and being active, right? And if you take that further, getting into training and exercise and training, but are essential to taking care of your energy levels, right? Energy is the big subject. Nutrition will help with that because you free energy when you don't overwhelm your body with food. And when you exercise your body, you make your body more efficient, okay? And you change the ratio of fat to muscle, and your body just uses energy better, and you feel more fit, and you make better decisions. But exercise alone and nutrition alone do not solve the energy challenges that many of us experience. Certainly stress is coming from the outside in most cases. Well, at least it starts there. And then it gets exacerbated by how we interpret stress and how we respond to stress. But a lot of our stress comes from the fact that the influences from the outside world and how we're responding to those. In other words, are we responding to stress in ways that create more stress, or are we responding to stress in ways that create more energy? If we're not, it's going to have a huge impact on our energy. And lower energy is the primary stress I'm submitting, is the primary stress that most of us are dealing with. Lowered energy. Now you might say, well, John, I don't have an energy problem. I'm a high achiever. I'm driven. I have energy, loads of energy. Well, let me offer you this. Do you think it's possible that you could stay stimulated all day long, all week long, be putting out all kinds of energy? Remember, I said earlier, you probably have relentless demand on your time and energy at your current stage of life. And if you're living in 2021, that's probably true, right? Do you think you could stay stimulated all the time, but behind the scenes, your body could actually be taking the hit, right? Your body is taking a hit. Every one of our bodies today is taking a hit, because when you're in constant energy output, when you're spending energy and you're stimulated, you feel energized, but energized does not mean that your body is fully restored with energy. It just means you're spending energy all over the map, and you feel stimulated, so there you feel excited, and you could say you have lots of energy, but your body could be crumbling under the pressure. There are reasons why people hit the wall and things are going really well, and then all of a sudden they get a back pain, or they get a shoulder pain, or they get a neck pain, where their mood starts to go down, where they don't have the capacity. Well, they have the capacity, but they don't have the energy to cope with the stresses that are going on in their lives. There are reasons why that happens. There are reasons why life could feel like it's going really well, and then all of a sudden it's not. And what I'm submitting to you is that what that is decreased energy in your body. In other words, you're overexerting and under recuperating. And to the degree that life force diminishes in the body, aches and pains and stress go up. It's one of the reasons why I started RegenUs Center. And I started RegenUs Center with me as client zero, because it was, honestly, if I'm being fully transparent, RegenUs Center was about helping solve my back problem. And, it took us 4 years to get into this business. In year one, we just tested equipment. In the year two, we were just figuring out how to string together these really cool, shiny object technologies that would help accelerate a person's recovery, that would help speed up the process of regenerating energy and regenerating tissue and helping to heal the body. I'm not saying you're going to grow another leg, right? Or but I am talking about regeneration to the extent that we keep muscles out of spasm and that we heal a cut when we get healed, right? That's called regeneration. Like the human body has limited capacity for regeneration. But internally, being able to detoxify the body, improve cellular function, tighten up collagen and build what's called negentropy. Entropy is when systems fall apart through inflammation, overexertion and inflammation. They start to disintegrate. Negentropy is when it's negative entropy. It's when the body's coming back together. When you increase vitality in the body, this is what happens. And as you increase vitality in the body, everything gets better. From the cellular level up, organ systems, and your overall body just simply keep getting better. The more regular and systematic you are with your regeneration, at the core of your lifestyle, the better you get. And that's my story in a nutshell. I started off with red light laser therapy, and it got the spasm out of my back. I was able to heal a lot of the tissue in the area. Then I moved to whole body light therapy. Then I started incorporating pulsed electromagnetic field, compression therapy, and I eventually even added some tools that we don't even offer here at the center. Things like cryotherapy. But cryotherapy at this stage of the game, when you're tired and your body's trying to heal, is not the right modality. Anyway, why am I telling you all this? I'm telling you all this because the center is here to regenerate us. The center is here to get and this is one of the rare times I use this term, a boost, right? It's to get a boost. Part of the reason why I got in, a boost in energy and to accelerate our recovery, to help build momentum. That's what I mean by boost. I'm not talking about boost like a coffee shot or a B12 shot or any of these concoctions out there that are sold to give you a boost in energy, but really just leave you crashed because you haven't actually regenerated genuine, let alone generous reserves of what energy actually is, right? You're not taking in substances from the outside. You're literally building the body's ability, enhancing the body's ability to produce energy. You're literally sourcing it using these tools as a supplement to the outside world, meaning through sun and water and air and ozone and etc. You get the idea. And food. You're utilizing these tools as a supplement. Now, one of the reasons why this was of interest to me, right? Because when I wanted to open up a center, I didn't want to open up another gym business. I didn't want to open up. People there's hordes of gyms out there, and people have enough activity. I felt and saw that the biggest need, including in my own life, was that we needed to regenerate our energy in mass. And I wanted to, when this whole recovery industry, I'm not talking about the recovery from drugs and alcohol, that industry already existed. And it does exist largely because they don't get this type of recovery, right? Once your energy starts to sink, your brain starts to get a little loopy, and we're very prone to addictive tendencies to medicate ourselves when our body's energy starts getting low and pain starts going up, right? When we don't have the capacity to fully function in the world. You can be sure that is the seedbed to alcohol and drug consumption and a lot of other things, other types of ways that we use to addictions that we use to distract ourselves from our present situation and how we're feeling. So for me, I was an overexerted entrepreneur. This is a term I'm going to use. You're not going to understand fully what it means, but you can get the gist. I was a performance addict. I was always going, right? I was non-stoppable. I was going from venture to venture to venture in my life, always overspending my energy. If you had asked me, hey, Jam, are you getting enough sleep? I'd be like, yeah, sure, I'm getting enough sleep. Yeah, I go to bed at midnight. I wake up at 7:30, sometimes 8. I'm getting my 7 to 8 hours of sleep. And I would have said, yeah, there's no problem there. That's exactly what's happening. But yet I was, in an all-out assault every day for sometimes 12 to 16 hours working, trying to get ahead, trying to be, more successful, trying to achieve my big ambitious goals. But behind the scenes, I was literally crumbling under the pressure. So over the years, I became a lifestyle coach, an entrepreneur lifestyle coach, because I wanted to serve those people, sort of in the middle stages of life, from 35 to 55, 60, a little bit earlier, in some cases, a little bit older, but people who were right in the middle of life, that had relentless demands on their time and energy, just like me, who were suffering from stress, pain, and fatigue, just like me, who want to win, the second half of their work life and not play the second half of their work life like they did in the first half. We all have stories. I can't even tell you how many stories I have when I'm in the center and I'm talking to people. And we all have these sort of war stories that we share with each other going, God, if I knew then what I know now, I wouldn't have lived that way. I abused myself. You abused yourself probably. I abused myself probably. Well, actually, I know I did, right? Which is why I started RegenUs Center, because as a lifestyle coach, I knew and learned over time where I'm asking people to learn how to engage in healthy performance in their life. And healthy performance, because nobody wakes up to be healthy on a daily basis, they wake up to be successful. But if your approach to human performance is not healthy and not based in a lifestyle that's supporting you and what you're up to in the world, whatever that is, okay, you're almost inevitably going to begin to suffer from hidden lifestyle challenges as the market serves up all these sort of impotent solutions to help us cope with stress, but in effect create more stress. Nutrient poor food, overstimulation, constant work, constant coffee. None of these things promote health at all, right? So, we needed recovery. I saw the need in the market, not only for myself, but for other people, that if you're going to make these changes and you're going to teach people how to engage in healthy performance, which at the end of the day is a lifestyle, right? You can't engage in healthy human performance if you're divorced from the whole central theme of your life, which is your lifestyle. Like, your lifestyle is the root cause of everything. Because even if you have a tendency towards or a predisposition towards cancer, or heart disease, or diabetes, or psoriasis, or other kinds of problems, even if you have the genetic makeup, which, given the right environment and the right set of circumstances, or I should say the wrong set of circumstances, will show up and manifest as these common diseases. There's a concept that you may have heard out. It's called gene-environment interaction, meaning just because you might have the bullet in your body, it needs your environment to pull the trigger, right? It doesn't, just because you have a predisposition towards something doesn't mean that you will actually get that disease. You have to live into a set of circumstances that will give rise to that situation. So genes are the bullet. The environment is what pulls the trigger, or not. So as a lifestyle coach, I learned all these fundamentals of successful living, and I strung them all together, and I have been a thought leader around this whole idea of living a high performance lifestyle, or a performance lifestyle, which basically just means you're not just unleashing your full potential, you're unleashing the full potential of your lifestyle. In other words, through training, you know what to do and why, and how to do it and when, at the right level, the right intensity, and the right consistency for you to accomplish and achieve the results or outcomes that you want in your life. You're not in a constant state of overexertion. You're not in a constant state of under recuperating and coping with stress in ways that create more stress. Once you learn these fundamentals of energy and health and successful living, all kind of tied together in what we refer to as a performance lifestyle, you start living in balance. And living in balance simply means you start doing what you need to do when you need to do it, right? How you need to do it and when you need to do it at the right level and intensity and consistency for you to the best of your ability while you're working, taking care of your family, taking care of your career, your life, your business, maybe you're into sports or you write books or into the arts, whatever it is. The all the stuff that we're up to in the world, you have to be able to take care of your body in the process of doing that. And I would venture to say so that you can do those things, right? Too often today, people, they do those things, but they're living one lifestyle, which is this all-out assault on life. And then once the symptoms show up, then they move over to this other lifestyle and they try to wedge in a little bit of health and wellness here and there, a little bit more healthy eating, a little bit more working out, right? They'll go on this diet program or that exercise program, or they'll do the sleep program for a short period of time or a detox program. What I'm saying to you is that ultimately what I've been promoting for all these years, probably ahead of its time, is that we've got to collapse that. We have to have one lifestyle that fully supports us and what we're up to in the world. And that's what a performance lifestyle is really all about. It's a lifestyle that wholly works for you and is not working against you, right? At least 90% of the time working for you, and only 10% of the time, if you want to indulge, is it working against you. But you can recover from 10%. You can't recover when that is your 90% and you're trying to wedge health and wellness into your life 10% of the time. That does not work. But one of the things I learned by working with high achievers, people who are driven, people who've got a lot going on in their lives, one of the things I learned over time was that even the driven among us, right, and many of you have lived high achieving lives your whole life. You've developed families, you've had careers, you've worked intensely hard. And we've had these conversations. Even us, we will get distracted and held back by fatigue and pain. And if we don't address fatigue and pain in our lives and regularly and systematically, as I like to say, proactively recover in our lives, we don't move forward and we don't live at the level that we're capable of living. And that is a long way of saying that's what we're really up to here at RegenUs Center. RegenUs Center was about helping people who we are helping to change and to improve and to optimize the way they live. It was about dealing with the primary problem that will distract and hold them back. And that is stress, pain, and fatigue. Constant goingness that leaves you tired, that periodically leaves you exhausted, but over time becomes a constant or chronic fatigue. And you no longer have those peak periods where you feel rich with genuine and generous reserves of energy, but you sort of feel like you're flatlining all day long, like you're constantly tired. So when people come into RegenUs Center, they get a great boost in momentum. They start to feel a little bit of the zest and some of that zeal come back into their lives when they start to proactively recover. This is an infrared sauna right behind me. This, combined with whole body light therapy, will work wonders in your life. But here's the moral of the story. The moral of the story is that if your lifestyle is not supporting you around these tools, even these tools will be limited in their capabilities to help you regenerate and experience the results you want. Because your problem is not a lack of red light. That's part of your problem. But the whole of your problem is always going to come down to your lifestyle. Now, I understand. I get it. You might say, well, John Allen, are you asking me to change my whole lifestyle right now? Well, I'm inviting you to, and I can show you how to do that. But I understand. You like to bite this off in baby chunks. So you come in here to the center. Fantastic. That's a great first move. I can't even tell you how many people we have who come through here on an annual basis. I'll tell you the story about Rob. Rob comes in here. This is a guy I knew from decades ago, super high achiever, 3 girls, his wife, running an insurance business, working out, was doing the same things that most people do, eating low carbohydrate chicken and steak all day to kind of keep the weight off and build his muscle, because years ago he thought he needed lots of protein. And he's going through his day, but he's tired all the time. He comes in and his body's contorted like an S, and he's worn down and his hair's turning gray, and he's like, John, I feel terrible. Right? He had just gone through some challenges, transitioned his business, but he was wiped out tired. And in the past year, he didn't come in and start working out like crazy and become, get engaged in heroic efforts in dieting. He didn't do that. He started eating micronutrient-rich foods. He kept his activity levels constant. He just walks a couple times a week, works out 2 times a week. But the thing he did regularly and systematically over the course of the last year was he came into RegenUs Center and he started recovering his energy. He started getting his energy back. And he started improving his sleep. And as he started to do this, amazing things happened. He became a whole different person. He was in here just the other day going, God, John, look at my hair is darker. Look at my skin. People say I look younger. He lost weight. All kinds of things happened. And he's like, I didn't even go to the nines on this. All I did was get my energy back. And when his energy was back, he started to upward spiral instead of downward spiral, because he started to eat better. He had the desire to eat better. Right? He had the desire to be more active. And he started doing so much better in his business, right? Which is all a reinforcing cybernetic loop. It's amazing. And, he came in utterly excited because he had told me a story when he first came in here. He said, John, I feel like my prime is gone and life is kind of over. I'm just dying now. And I mean, I've been there. You've been there. But that can all change when you engage in learning how to restore your energy, which is what we do here at the center, right? We teach you how to restore it. But as a lifestyle coach, what I'm helping you do is I'm teaching you how to manage your energy. So I said before that, people who are driven, who are achiever types, which is generally the crowd I attract a lot. A lot of people come into RegenUs Center don't necessarily know that. They just want to get out of pain. But generally those people who are in pain because they were, achiever types, and they've worked pretty hard in their lives. So it's essentially the same client. They just come in with a different mindset. But when I'm teaching people performance lifestyle, I said that those people get distracted and held back for the same reason that people who come into RegenUs Center get distracted and held back in their lives. Right? Or not, that prevent them from living their best selves. And that is stress, pain, and fatigue. Constant tiredness with periods of exhaustion that expand into this constant tiredness, and in some cases chronic fatigue, that give rise to all kinds of habit patterns that are not supporting you. That's the coping with stress in ways that create more stress idea. And it gives rise to disease conditions, and they stay stuck in this pattern, this sort of parallel life to the life they want to be living, because they have to get their health back. And what I'm submitting to you is that can detour your whole life, and that especially, and I know our clients pretty well, they're generally in the second half of their work life or life itself. And they want to win the second half of their life. They want it to go amazingly well. They want to get free of these problems that were created in the first half. So how you do that is you've got to start to restore your energy on a regular basis. But you've got to go one step further. You've got to learn how to manage your energy for the rest of your life. And as I like to say it, like a pro. Now, when I say like a pro, I was looking at, the other day, I was looking at a box, like a UPS box. I was sitting in someone's office, and there was a little box there that said, pack like a pro. In other words, UPS is giving you the ability to take this brown box And they're giving you all the tools and some instructions so that you can pack up your stuff like a pro, like a mover was coming into your house. Well, what I'm suggesting is that you've got to learn how to live your life like a pro. And most of us were never taught these fundamentals, starting with, right, the fundamentals of healthy performance. We were never taught the mindset, the lifestyle mindset and skill set that all healthy, high-achieving people up to big things in their life, who we sit and we look and go, God, how do they do it without tiring out, burning out, and trading their health for success the way so many of us have done? You've done it, I've done it, right? It's because they understand all these lifestyle fundamentals and they strung them all together, and they have a lifestyle mindset and skill set that supports their performance, which is why they don't burn out, which is why they have so much less stress, because they're employing more skills, more lifestyle skills than most of us even attempt, because we don't even know they exist. But there's one thing that they do that is paramount. It's bigger than anything else that they do. They manage their energy. They know what energy is, and they manage it like a pro. They employ a series of skills. In other words, the rudder to their whole way of life is that they manage their energy. And they're like literally less than 1% of the population. It's why we don't have very many role models exemplifying this whole idea of energy management. But there was a book that came out about 15, almost 16, 17 years ago right now, called The Powerful Engagement. And they introduced the whole idea of managing energy and how it was like so essential to your success in life, however you define it, right? You don't need to be you could be a high achiever and be running a paper route, right? It's whatever you're doing, that you do it with excellence. But the reason why you're able to do it with excellence is because you're not, tired, worn down, and burnt out. You're not trading your health for that success. And what you're able to do, you're doing in a way, with a balanced approach, right? So that you're not letting, your attempt at success, whatever it is you're up to in your life, force you to trade your health for it, right? That's what the healthy high achiever concept is all about. And I teach that in a program. I'm going to be dripping this on you little by little, but I teach this in I would say the signature program that we at RegenUs Center ascribe to. And I shouldn't even call it a program, because your lifestyle is the program. We just need to improve it. And a performance lifestyle is just your lifestyle working for you, not against you. And what we ascribe to here at RegenUs Center is that it's our mission not only to help you proactively recover and regenerate your energy and heal your body, to get free of that stress, pain, and fatigue, but to also show you how to manage your energy and develop a healthy performance lifestyle that's going to support you and what you're up to in the world. Because you want to be coming into a place like RegenUs Center, and you want to be getting better. You want to be taking yourself to new heights, not just coming from below dirt and just getting back to ground level, right? That's when you feel it the most, right? When you've lost your energy and you get it back, you're like, wow. But when you're already in a good place and now you're going to get better, now it takes longer for you to tire out. Now you have greater resilience, you have more capacity, you have more energy. Your health becomes reliable because you're not just in here, you're not just restoring your energy and managing your energy, you're now fueling your body right, and you're activating and strengthening your body in the right way, and you're managing stress on the outside so that you don't have so much stress bearing down on you, right? I have a sort of a funny saying that, if you're on the Titanic and you're running around frenetically and all of a sudden a light bulb goes off and says, you know what? I don't need this much stress. I'm going to meditate. So you meditate, but you're still on the Titanic. You're still going to go down, just calmer, right? So, You have to actually deal with the stress. You have to get off that ship and get on a dinghy, hold on to a life raft, get a chair, right? Get a life preserver, whatever it is. You need to reach for something. You need to not just cope with that situation. You need to change. And in the case of the Titanic, you need to eliminate it. You need to get out, right? Not just change where you're sitting on the boat. You need to get off the boat. So our mission here at RegenUs Center, and my mission primarily as a lifestyle coach, my mission is to help people restore and manage their energy for life, but then learn how to do it like a pro and develop performance lifestyles. So over the last 20 years, I've developed a program. We deliver it as a program. For you, it's a lifestyle optimization system. It's a personal energy and lifestyle optimization system that you can engage in over the next year, 2 years, 3 years, and completely transform your life. Because most people are not suffering from lack of personal development or professional development. They know what they're doing. All right. I'm not saying, everything develops you personally, and we always love to develop our professional life. But what most people suffer from is they suffer from just coping with stress in ways that create more stress. In other words, their excess stress is wearing them down. And until they restore and manage their energy and then learn how to optimize the way they live, they chase shiny objects forever and ever and ever, including coming to RegenUs Center. RegenUs Center could literally be a shiny object in your life. Even though these are shiny objects. Look, it is shiny and it is an object, right? It's just a helpful one. But it in and of itself is not the solution, the entire solution, I should say, to your problem. You've got to optimize the way you live. And as a lifestyle coach, that's what I help you do. And so I'm going to keep chipping away at this over the next couple weeks. And I'm going to invite you here in all of our RegenUs Center clients. I'm going to invite you to join us in my PL 365. This is an ongoing training that it never stops. Actually, performance lifestyle training. By the way, performance lifestyle, the acronym is PL, so it's my PL 365. In your case, if you were saying that, would be your performance lifestyle 365, right? That's where the name came from. This is an ongoing training that we engage in constantly. It never stops. I actually never want it to stop. This is not like a 30-day thing, a 6-month thing where it just ends, where people often ask me, they're like, well, John, how much time will it take? All the time, because your lifestyle is all the time, right? So you stay in performance lifestyle training. It's why I lowered the cost so low. We only charge $297. And with that, we give you a manual that took me 30 years to put together, mapping out all the essential fundamentals of lifestyle in a perfect context so that you could begin to employ them into your life, right? Learn them, deep dive on them, and start to apply these fundamentals of energy, of healthy and successful living in your life so that you could change, improve, and optimize the way you live. Step by step, at your pace, starting with learning how to manage your energy and then learning how to do it like a pro. And the like a pro piece is when you start getting the other fundamentals down, when you learn how to periodize your schedule, and you learn all about circadian rhythms, and when you learn how to eat and exercise for energy, even before fitness and losing weight, just for energy. When you learn how to sleep like a pro, and when you learn how to maintain an optimal performance state and regenerate your life force and eat a whole foods nutrient-rich diet. Now that may seem like a lot. You're going, John, oh my God, that's so much. No. These are all just pieces of one thing. And this is the only one thing that's made up of many things, and it's called your lifestyle. And my mission is to help you improve your lifestyle and enhance your lifestyle in such a way that when you come into a place like RegenUs Center, you're able to take your life to new levels, not just get back to a functional level. I want to help you function at new levels because we got a lot of living to do in the second half of our work lives or our lives itself. We've got big goals. We've got things with our family, our grandkids. I had a gentleman come in here the other day, right? 65 years old. He's got a little bit of Parkinson's kicking in, and he's really worried about it. So he's trying to take care of his nervous system. And he's got grandkids. And he never thought he was going to live for a long time. But now he wants to, because he sees the next generation being born. And he's like, oh my God, I have this whole renewed sense for living. And he's been coming here, and he said, John, I have to stop for 90 days. I said, why? He says, because I'm taking on this CEO job. I got a big family I got to provide for. And I'm like, I totally get it. So I got him involved in performance lifestyle training, in my PL 365. And now he's approaching the way he would normally work very, very differently, because he knows his lifestyle is at the source of his problems. And he needs to make changes and enhance his approach so that he lives at the level that he's capable of, so that he can work, okay, at the level that he's capable of, but not overtax his system and trade his health for success the way so many of us have done for decades, right? So I'm going to invite you to join us in that. I as I started to say earlier, I'll just get this cat right out of the bag up front. This is not something that costs you an arm and a leg. We've priced ourselves here at RegenUs Center so that you can keep recovery in your life. Well, we want to do the same thing with training. We charge less than $300. You get the full manual. You're going to get the full 7 breakthrough energy discoveries. These are the things that are going to teach you what energy is and how to manage it. And then we're going to start to teach you how to respond to stress in ways that create less stress and more energy, not more stress and less energy, where your body, where you attempt to crush it in the world, but your body gets crushed under excess stress and fatigue. I'm going to help you break that pattern. And, over the course of the ensuing months, we've got this habit building system for high achievers, whether you identify as a high achiever or not. Okay, we're all some kind of achiever type, striving, high achiever. Some of us get to the point where we're healthy high achievers. Okay, but we're gonna take you regularly and systematically every single week and month, day, week, month, and throughout the year. We're going to help you to incorporate all the essential practices into your life that make up what we refer to as a performance lifestyle. And for those of you who want to go even further, we'll teach you how to do the high performance lifestyle by getting complete brain coherence. So I've been talking for 47 minutes and 45 seconds and counting. What I want you to get in this video is that, yes, come in here, restore your energy, heal, regenerate, get out of pain. But now, join us in helping you manage your energy and then learn how to do it like a pro in what we refer to as a performance lifestyle that becomes more relevant, more meaningful, and more actionable the older you get. You might hear the word performance and say, well, oh my God, I'm going all the time. The last thing I need is more performance. No, I'm not talking about that kind of performance. I'm talking about your ability to function well, to perform well in the world, right? To not burn out, to not trade your health for success, to learn how to achieve even your most ambitious goals while living in balance with vibrant health and peace of mind. We're going to help you make changes, including your diet and how you eat. We're going to help you eat a whole food, nutrient-rich diet, activate and strengthen your body. But it's not those two things, those two big pillars that everybody focuses on when it comes to their lifestyle. You don't get the full results unless you learn how to manage your energy and respond to stress in ways that create more energy and less stress, especially stress of the wrong kind. So come in here, restore, learn how to manage your energy, and learn how to do it like a pro. And I'm going to suggest that you join our training. It literally is $20 a month. We've priced it that way so that you can keep it in your life and continue to get better. We want to make the second half of your life awesome. We want to help you win the second half. by employing the wisdom that we learned in the first half. We want you to put it in play in the second half. But none of us wants that to take 20 years. I'm 52 years old, right? I wouldn't want to, if I was, right now just coming in here for the first time and wanting to, perform better, function better, get my energy back, get my ability to move my body back, etc. I wouldn't want it to take 20 years, right? I'd be 70 years old, 72 years old by the time that happened. So we have to condense that time into a short period of time. You're going to go through the next 12 to 36 months one way or another. You might as well do it in a way where you're constantly getting better. So along the way, we're going to be, giving you links to be able to sign up. I'm going to continue sending inspirational and educational messages like this. Hopefully you're benefiting from this. And my personal objective with this video was to have you come into RegenUs Center, but also engage in genuinely changing, improving, and optimizing the way you live, because that's where the real source of the problem is. And a lot of people will refer to lifestyle, but they really don't know how to talk about lifestyle. I know I didn't. It took me decades to even be able to say what I'm saying to you right now, right? And there might be some concepts you don't know and whatnot, but it's easier to go all in, to restore and learn how to manage your energy and improve your lifestyle than to just chase shiny objects indiscriminately with no method, no process, and no support, and just keep seeing what's going to work, or what might work, what might not work, getting overwhelmed by all these different perspectives. Right? No, this is your problem. No, this is your problem. Here's how you solve it. No, this is how you solve it. People stay trapped in that health carousel for decades, and some of people never escape it. They just stay in it their whole lives. Are you ready to exit that carousel, to get off going around in circles and start taking a completely aligned approach to your life based on the solid fundamentals of energy and health and successful living, all collapse into one idea called a performance lifestyle? And for those of you who want to go even further and live optimally, take it into a high performance lifestyle, well, that's something that we can help you do here at RegenUs Center, because I'm John Allen Mollenhauer. My friends call me John Allen. The rest call me Jam by my initials, and I hope you will too. I'm a lifestyle coach. I run lifestylecoach.com. And I teach people how to live a lifestyle that supports them and what they're up to in the world, to help them through this idea called a performance lifestyle, which is the next step in the evolution of the way we live, to get all aspects of the way they live working for them, not against them. And it's an exciting journey because this is when it all comes together. This is when you bring it all together. And eventually it just becomes your new normal. I'm living today at 52 years old the way I hoped and wished I could have lived when I was 22 years old. But I didn't know that then. And I had to go through 30 more years of intensive learning and hitting the walls and health problems and back pain and all kinds of things that were distracting and holding me back from not only living my full potential, but achieving my full potential. And in the second half, that's more important than ever. So I welcome you to join us in MyPL 365. Keep asking questions about it. You don't need to take action right this second, but some of you will. Just join us, get into the process with us, and we look forward to seeing you at your next appointment at RegenUs Center. And feel free to ask us questions while you're here. Peace.